All right, so welcome back to the Battlefield 4 live stream. I'm Corey Dunn. I'm now joined by Carl Magnus. It's good to have you back. I mean, we had the chance to be able to dive down deep there on day one, right off the bat. I mean, we were able to sit there and expose as much as we could think of, and there's been a lot of acceptance for all the information that you're able to provide. Cool. So definitely a pleasure to have you back on here and kind of answer any of the other questions that we might have. We've learned a lot, though, since day one. Yeah. Since we've watched a lot of different types of game elements and seeing how the game is type of progressed. How's the event, though? I mean, it was busy there for Patrick Bach. How about for yourself?
It's very similar for me as well. It's back to back with interviews. We're running from various rooms to various sets, etc., to do the interviews, and it's the response so far has been absolutely amazing. I mean, actually, I prefer to hang around here where the actual people are playing. But even when you listen to journalists that come straight off the play test, etc., and then you have an interview, people are really excited. They find it really fun to play the game and get into it. That they really like what we presented here. You know, some people are more into the bigger, the bigger features that we put into the game, the new stuff. But some of them are really into the minute details as well, the smaller innovations that we know that the hardcore players are really going to enjoy for many long before the perhaps novelty of some of the bigger features have gone away.
That's some of the stuff that I'm definitely looking forward to. We can go ahead and dive directly back into the gameplay and kind of continue to talk about some of the little minute details that you're mentioning as well. I think one of the cool things for me that I heard earlier today was the ammo and health pack. I know I've mentioned this numerous times. The having the ability to have the little packs that you can slap on one of your teammates that can go back into the battle, or you can toss it. Say there, for instance, they're on the second story. I think that's a great addition. And also the C4 side of things, where whenever you're on recon, you can swim across to a boat and slap C4 on the side of the boat and have the same type of impact that you do to any type of vehicle on land.
Yeah, it's actually something we felt that when you're swimming and you were swimming in BF3, you were very exposed because you could not fire back, you couldn't do anything. So any kind of one-handed gadget or weapons you could actually use now when you're swimming as well. And you have sprint swim.
Yeah, sprint swim. I think that's been a great thing that we coined. First thing that was mentioned. I think the entire community is already attached to the idea. The other big key component is the fact that you can shoot your secondary. That's above and beyond. And one of the cool things that we had the chance to see was a player dove into the water and stayed down. So a lot of people may think, well, you can just dive down for a moment and then you have to pop back up. But what we've seen so far is players actually taking advantage of it and diving down, because again, in Battlefield 3, you were a sitting duck. You were exposed, and I think that again is another great addition out there. Yeah. So again, I think there's been a lot of great elements that we've noticed so far throughout the game. Another one that I think that we can kind of talk about too is some of the vehicle animations whenever they become disabled. So there's a post out there saying that there was a flat tire for one of the vehicles, and one of the animations was it had lost a tire, and it was actually
that's actually more than I know, but that might be true.
No, again, this goes back to the little minute details that the community picked up. I didn't pick up on it first thing, but I've been watching for it now.
No, but the team back home that is working so hard on this title, not just for this title, but for Battlefield as a whole, we have this great idea of attention to detail, and actually the game is starting to get so detailed now that it's hard to just keep up with everything that is happening. Just small things like, a sniper rifle, but now you have rangefinders in there that these kind of small things that goes into it. And of course we try to add these kind of things because it actually makes the game more interesting to play with, not just because of the eye candy factor.
So the question that I have then is, how do you balance, because you don't want to get too super realistic with certain elements. You want to kind of keep it a little bit, have an arcadey feel. How do you balance those two?
Well, we have a saying in the studio that we're not trying to build a realistic game, but we are trying to build an authentic game. But even before authentic, we're building a fun game. So fun comes before everything else. You can look at the jets, for instance. They do not fly at the same appropriate speed as a jet probably should, because it would never work in the actual game. But that's a kind of that's the kind of compensations you need to do to get this whole Battlefield system to work together. And I think so far we do everything pretty well. Sometimes you might do something that is too far out there, etc., and then we scale it back and we fix it in post.
I think one of my favorite things is watching a tank actually flip. I think that alone is only in Battlefield for sure.
I should take this opportunity probably with so many people of the community is really listening to what we're saying here and express how much we appreciate with all the crazy stuff that people do out there in the game, just for fun, and sometimes when they play really actively, but all these kind of strange things that people do inside of Battlefield and record the movies and put it up. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So one of the things that with the industry, especially for the Battlefield community, is they're not just consumers, they're producers.
Yep.
And that right there is just a beautiful, beautiful thing, because one, it's not only just what they can do on video, but at the same time, the feedback and also the suggestions that are made are just so at a high quality, especially in the Battlefield community. Again, a shout out to the guys because they're so educated.
Maybe not everyone knows it, but you probably heard that part of the idea of how we package this product is we say only in Battlefield, like only this is available in Battlefield. And maybe not everyone perhaps see that, but that actually comes from the community created videos. Like when we have seen the huge uptake of these kind of ideas that people have, and they actually put that into a movie and create it and put it up on the web. That is what the inspiration from that campaign only in Battlefield came from.
Right, and if you haven't had the chance, make sure you go to facebook.com/Battlefield. That's where I got all my updates on the only in Battlefield. So I knew way before I even became a part of this whole shoutcasting ability here. So it was great. I cycled through numerous videos after that point.
Cool.
So as we kind of look at it, we've talked about the counterattack. I thought that was another great feature that was added into the game. One of the things that was kind of interesting to me, and I honestly don't know the answer because I've played a great deal of just normal gameplay for Battlefield 3, but I've noticed in this game right here, we get it's a feature that's been here for this demo since we're in pre-alpha right now, but we get to see what it's like to have ammo for hardcore. So in hardcore, where the magazine clip doesn't fully reload itself. So basically what I'm trying to get at, I've tried to explain this numerous times, but whenever you reload, you're dispensing the clip altogether, not the ammo that's there. So as we just, the way that the game has been great though, because what I've noticed is we're not seeing any redundancies in gameplay. It's every time we've watched this map being played, it's been different every single time.
And I mean, people that play Battlefield knows this, but I mean, that is part of the core recipe of what we call like the sandbox and the rock, paper, scissors design that has been with Battlefield from the beginning. That is part of the idea that it's not just about building one game mechanic, it's building a system of game mechanic that matches together. So, you always have something to counter the other with. A jet might be good against tanks, but they're vulnerable to something else, etc. And that is part of what the idea of Battlefield is all about.
So what is the process that goes into to really balance out tanks or the land battle versus air, and what's the method that goes into play?
Well, there's, naturally we have very skilled designers sitting at home thinking about this, and we rely quite heavily as well on just, the experience that people have. But there's one thing that really makes this possible, and that is playing the game over and over and over and over again in the studio. Every day we have playtests where we go in, we take all the fixes that people have done over the last 24 hours or whatever. We play the game and people give feedback, and the people that are responsible for the various parts of the game then look at their specific features to say, did it work better, worse, etc. How is it turning out? So just to repeat this kind of iterative process of getting feedback in, fixing stuff, testing it, playing it again, these kind of things. That's basically how we get to the hopefully the quality that people enjoy when we release the game.
Probably one of my favorite parts is inside the elevator and the elevator music as you go up. So we've dived down deep into all the different types of elements that is within Battlefield, There's actually another point that I just thought of. The squad side. One of the things that I've realized is we don't have. I haven't seen directly a squad sprint, a squad ammo. All those different elements, but if you look in the bottom left side of your screen, I see this bar. Can you explain that for me?
This is a feature that we call field upgrade. That is, some people might somewhat recognize from Battlefield 2142, where you have like this system, and basically it means that if you play together as a squad, anything team-related score events actually helps you upgrade your field upgrades. These will then give you various upgrades that, similar to more ammo, more grenades and these kind of things. But you can also be punished. So if, for instance, the squad is wiped out, you actually fall down a level. And the things are also reset after your session is over. So it's one of those things that we want to put in there that is not persistent. It's something you have to work to get to.
Right.
But it can greatly affect your efficiency as a squad together.
What is and I've seen previous versions with Battlefield, and having a rank gives you the accessibility to a lot more weapons. How is that balancing out for those who are just now getting their first chance to play Battlefield 4? So say, for instance, a year from now, whenever we've actually had the chance to play Battlefield 4, it's in the community, but I'm a new user and I just hop into it.
Well, I mean, we have a philosophy that we should never have any real, super guns that just take over and are much more efficient than all the other guns. So, but that does also make it hard, because you want to make some guns, you want to have people work to get them and unlock them, etc. But the way that we work with this and the philosophy is that they have different traits. If you might prefer a specific weapon because of the handling or because of how it actually works, rate of fire, the damage it does, whatever it might be with this core functionality of the actual weapon. So it's much about unlocking the weapons that are out there and then finding your favorite, which you like. And then, of course, you have all the customization that goes with that as well. Right. So you can not only unlock your weapon, but then customize it to to fit your playstyle, basically.
I think one of my favorite additions, it may not be the most grand in comparison to others, but is the ability to have attachments for your secondary.
Yes.
And you don't have to sit there and work towards an unlockable for a pistol with a silencer. You're working for the attachment, and you get that attachment, and you can attach that to various other weapons. So I think that's great. Yeah, so we've just been watching so far while talking about it. So we've got right now we're Alpha 03. What was the idea behind both the amphibious vehicle and also this MRAP? In terms of, is it just built for the fact that it can get you across the map quicker? I guess I'm looking for what its purpose is.
Well, I mean, are you talking about the water vehicles?
The amphibious vehicle, as well as the that vehicle that we're just with now. The land vehicle as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know the exact details that went into the ideas of why they selected those specifically, but I mean, when it comes to the actual vehicles we have on water, we know that as soon as you're out on the water, you are pretty exposed. And speed is definitely something you need to use there to maneuver around. So the faster the water-based amphibious vehicles are, the easier it is. But we also want them to be capable to actually fire back, specifically perhaps helicopters, which can be quite pestering if you're on the surface. So if you take the boat that we have in here, for instance, you both have a cannon, but you also have like 2 Gatling guns. I don't know exactly what the model type of them are, but that are sitting on the side of the boat. So you can be very offensive with it as well. And then you have the jet skis, of course. The actual land-based vehicle you're talking about is more of an armored, fast-moving vehicle. We've had Jeeps, of course, in the past, but this one definitely has more armor, because otherwise you're pretty exposed in the other vehicles. The light-skinned vehicles we have had earlier before.
Are we going to have the chance to be able to still see those light-skinned vehicles in later once this game is fully developed?
You put them into the test here. I don't know exactly the full roster of the vehicles we have. We should probably ping some of the vehicle designers in the studio, but I couldn't see why not.
Yeah, so that was always one of our, I think, the questions that was out there. I mean, of course, this is a very, it's a great window, but it's a narrow window comparison to what's possible.
Yep.
Of course, I mean, getting the chance to see some really dramatic evolutions just similar to this on other maps, I'm looking forward to it. I know that people were questioning in the very beginning when they first saw the skyscraper fall, they thought of the tower falling in BF3, and it was a timed event in BF3. But here, it's an interaction by the players.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of, or the concept of Levolutions that we talk about it, for the people that have been with the franchise for a long period of time, they know that the introduction of destruction in Battlefield Bad Company 1 really changed how people play the game, right? It went from being something quite static into something very dynamic. That was, of course, inspired by the fact that, we as players at DICE were we felt that it was it didn't feel right when you ran into a small tent and, a big Abrams tank was shooting at the tent and nothing was happening. So we felt that at the same time that we're not building a simulator, but we wanted to build a game that felt more interesting. And that's where the first idea of destruction came from. Now we're in Battlefield 4, we're taking this into a whole new concept that is not just about the destruction ranging from micro destruction all the way to the skyscraper coming down. It's about the interactivity of things like elevators or things that affect the spatial awareness of metal detectors going off when you run through them, etc.
I think one of my favorite things that I've seen also is whenever they were over in Metro and closing the storefront. Yeah. So they were able to hide in there for a little bit so any other infantry couldn't break through.
Yeah, but the team is quite busy. We're trying to figure out more of these kind of small things, because sometimes you don't, we're sitting there looking at it, it might not feel like, oh, an elevator, how interesting is that? But actually, when you think about it from that you're going to be playing this for so many hours and you play it from a tactical point of view, elevators are really interesting, and it's like we should definitely have more of that.
Yeah, so one of the key points that I know that I do a lot in Battlefield 3 is I'll hop in a helicopter or find a way to parachute down on top of the building. But if you give me an elevator, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But it's been great to watch all the different the elements that have come into this game, and I just look forward to getting the chance to play hands-on in my own home. Especially for those of you that haven't done it yet, you can go to Amazon.com and pre-order Battlefield 4 right now, and you'll even receive a battle pack with that as well. So it's been great to watch. I mean, like I mentioned before, we've seen so many different variations of gameplay throughout these past 2 days, and it's always impressive to me. This is actually the first helicopter battle that I've seen yet.
Oops, that was
maybe that's why I haven't seen them last. They don't last too long, especially. So I guess that brings back up a point too. And when we're talking about creating new maps, we're talking what was the thought process of trying to recreate Shanghai to this scale?
Well, I mean, when the team thought about this, I mean, we wanted to create a map that we haven't done before, and there's so many different elements that are put together in this map. We have done downtown urban areas before with skyscrapers, but never with air vehicles. We would never combine the idea of you can zoom around with a helicopter around skyscrapers, etc. At the same time, we haven't neither combined that with water before as well. So this map is really a test for us to see how much can we push this when it comes to the scale and the various different types of gameplay that we can put into one map. It's been a challenge for the team to get all of this together, but I would say that they were very happy with the results so far, and people really like the map. But it is very, very ambitious from that perspective. So, and not all maps of the game will be like this and contain every element, of course. There will be maps that are more specifically driven in one direction to the other, etc. But it's also natural for us to choose this map for an event like this, E3, to really show off what we can do.
I know that there's been some players that are out there that said I'm from Shanghai, and it looks pretty spot on for the most part.
Yeah, we don't try to replicate areas, to the minute detail, but we definitely take a lot of inspiration and use some parts of it which looks very similar.
All right, so this is a question that the community is always wondering about. I think it was kind of got sparked a little bit, but I have to ask: are we ever going to see any dinosaurs at any point?
You have to wait and see.
Oh, we gotta wait and see.
We'll see.
All right, well, I'll make that the last question for fun. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Carl Magnus, joining us. But we'll be back after the break. More Battlefield 4 gameplay coming up.
E3 2013, Golden Boy FTW here, playing some or watching some Battlefield 4.
We've had the chance to play, though.
We had the chance to play, and I'll tell you right now, man, the game's awesome. I'm a big fan of the game. I don't know if you noticed.
There's not a lot to say, but we've said a lot.
There is, yeah, we've certainly said a lot. Of course, you can see all the players playing there right now, and I have been on my handy-dandy phone today, and there's some Reddit stuff that I'm looking at our Battlefield right now. So they gave us a shout out too, by the way. So yeah, so in the thread that they actually updated here, they confirmed they put flashbangs. Yes, flashbangs are in the game.
Yep, that's in there.
Incendiary grenades, yes, they are in the game.
There as well. We haven't had the chance to really see it used yet.
That's very true. Very true.
Maybe I'll just ask somebody to try to use that. What else we got going on here?
They highlighted my building ride. You cannot building ride. This is confirmed. We saw it on stream. It is a real thing. No building riding.
You can make an attempt at it.
Yeah, you can make an attempt if you value your life. Assists, by the way, high scores assists now count as kills. I'm not too sure about that one. I just know that there are a lot of you can get high scoring assists. I just don't know.
You can get very high scoring. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I've seen one point where you can get an assist at 92. Similar to kind of what Battlefield 3 was. How much damage you had caused to a player is usually what your assist points are.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could probably even get 99 for an assist, and so that's what we see. So let's go and hop into gameplay.
That's right.
While we kind of talk through everything else.
Yep.
I mean, theoretically, he's building right now.
Okay, you win. The internet wins today. Oh my God.
Theoretically.
I'm
just cracking on.
No, you're right. He is building writing. Looking up top here, there's one player who actually is going to be Alpha 14. Is going to get into some action, and Corey is going to take a look at the Reddit thread. I am going to look at the action and see what is going down here. Helicopters flying everywhere. We saw a lot of awesome cinematic clips there from the trailers and videos that we had saw in the break there while we were not showing live gameplay. A lot of players have commented on the green laser sight. There is a green laser sight as well in the game. Works about as similar as the regular laser sight as well. When you put the, laser sight in the eyes of the player, it is in fact green. So there really isn't much more to speak on that one. I haven't had much of an opportunity to fiddle with it, and I haven't seen it used all that much either.
Yeah, so right now, as you can see, it's 498 to 511. Still a close game, and just kind of a battle over the C flag.
Oh, this guy
first thing, he's going to get taken down as we now are on board with the AC-130.
So
you can see how it's out there in the distance.
I actually want to talk about this AC-130. So I was actually reading in a thread. Players were talking about the AC-130. Yep. They were also talking about the commander mode, and how when you take over a territory, you get an ability through commander mode. Now, a lot of players were like, yeah, but if you get B, C as well as D, that could be pretty overpowering, right? Well, one, you shouldn't let that happen.
But you just took over 3 points. You had to work for it all.
But here's the other thing too. In this particular map on Siege, when that building falls down, and I don't know if the AC, let's see tabletop mode and see if the AC-130 is still up there.
Yep, it's out there
yes,
on
it
the
is.
left
Let's go ahead and
side.
click on the AC-130 real fast. Look at this screen. If we go into first person mode.
Man, that's so overpowered right now.
So OP. So OP. I can see everything. I mean, I can see it because we're in spectator mode. But, to the actual player himself, the only thing he can see is his teammates. And that's the thing. That's the balance of it. You know what I mean? That debris really does cause a lot of problems.
With that being said, I mean, so you will be able to see players that are spotted. So if your teammates spot any of the opponents. But with that being said, you don't know if they're above ground, below ground. There's no indicator that states where they're at exactly, because you can see, again, we can see the little HUD icons that are out there. One of the cool things that I want to note, though, is how the overview map even changes whenever the skyscraper falls. As you can take a look and see how that peninsula comes out.
Yeah, it extends out a little bit further, as you can see right there, and the mouse actually curved over it to show like how far it goes. Like that's the usual distance there, right where the sea it starts. Right, that is actually where the actual part of that land begins. But because of the fact the building collapses, then everything kind of gets pushed further into the sea there. So pretty cool stuff.
Earlier today, we saw someone, an Olympian swimmer, that was trying to cross the canal, and the building was falling at that exact moment. And we were just like, I don't know if you're going to make it.
So this player is actually using the green laser sight here.
He's going all out. He's got camo.
I love it. That's what I want to see. Let's actually go third person, see what he's using.
The player card?
Yeah, let's see what's up with the player card. He's actually going to be using that vertical grip, a reflex RDS, that naval, as well as their green sight. And he's using that CZ3A1, of course, Alpha 30 on your screen here. And yeah, I mean, basically, we've been seeing a lot of players take advantage of the variety, because there are a lot of options to choose from, despite this being an alpha build. There are quite a few customizations and guns to choose from.
Yeah, if there's any curiosity as well at this point in the pre-alpha stage about whether or not like a flashbang can take up like a secondary grenade spot, for what I've seen in the GUI system right now, both the highly explosive grenade as well as a flashbang and also the incendiary are all in the same slot.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the other cool things though too is the where the gadgets are at. There's a point where you can have both packs for the medic and everything. And there's a variety there as well.
Yeah, that's right. And also, you know, for other analysis as well, Level Cap, I just heard, put out a pretty informative video out on his YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that as well. I haven't seen Level Cap here, so he's kind of a little bit of an enigma. But I would like to get him on here. Maybe tomorrow could be a possibility. But yeah, so, you know, getting back to the action here, Alpha 30 on your screen. He is finding a player right in front of him. He might be able to take him out. Some good pacing on the shots there.
And you can see right now he's in full automatic as well. So that's one of the other benefits here is we can see all the 4 different points right there. You can see that he has some type of tactical attachment there. So he can switch from this red dot over to an optical zoom pretty quickly.
That's right. And oh, that player ended up getting taken out there as we jump into some tank action. This is going to be Alpha 19, who will be in a tank battle, finding one person right in front of him. That is going to be Bravo 10. He's going to go for the ram there. They need to be careful as he is going to have 31 health left. Oh, man.
He's trying to get the repair. He's going to hightail it out there as well.
That was a smart move. Hopefully, if he can stay alive, never mind.
Oh, he does.
He jumped. Yeah, we were both pleasantly surprised on that one. So yeah, he manages to stay alive. Now he's going to try and see if he can get some long distance shots. But you can see there, definitely not controlling the recoil of that gun from that long distance. He might need to move up there to make it more effective.
All right, just kind of taking a look around here. You can see we're over here towards Metro, getting a little evolution point right there where the fire hydrant has exploded.
Yep, and you know, of course, the skyscraper falling down. You know, actually, some people had asked me, you know, like the different Levolution elements. The skyscraper is the most profound of them, but there are a lot of different little things scattered across the map. You know, things like the stores that also can be destroyed. You can also bring down the gates on the stores too,
right, and
for
also
more protection.
Also, the fact that whenever you go into a store, as we take a look, you can see we're following this Tomahawkless. But while we do that, one of the other things that you can sit there and talk about in the storefronts is watching when someone comes through a storefront. It actually sounds off the alarm if you jump up on top of a car. That
the metal detectors too.
Yep. There's a lot of different things that come into play that can be that fall under Levolution, which means there are so many more possibilities, not just what we have on Siege of Shanghai. So
exactly. You know, bear in mind this is just one map in the many that you know, Battlefield has, and for the one map, I mean, I would tell you right now, this is an awesome map. It's, you know, perfectly symmetrical. It has a lot of great choke points. There isn't a lot of sequences where you're kind of just like running around willy-nilly with no clear idea on where the objective is. It really is a great map and a good design. But you can see there that B was getting capped there by the Bravo squad. Here comes Alpha 24, finding players right in front of him. This one guy's going to come to his left side here. He is going to get picked off.
That's a very aggressive approach there, trying to hop down inside of Metro.
Yeah, by himself too. That's never going to turn out well.
He had the advantage, honestly, with the high ground. He could have just stayed up top, been able to pick him from above. He could have utilized the high ground for as long as he wanted to, and then could have pushed in and be able to pick up that B flag.
Yep, but they seems as if they are going to be contending it though, or contesting it. So they are going to have someone there, but they are losing A, which is quite interesting. So hopefully the U.S. squad can get their bearings together here, as they are currently going to be up in this game, 325 to 255. The ticks are coming down.
A 75-point lead at this point.
Ooh, and that's secondary, by the way, he pulled out there. Quite interesting. See, do you like it with that? It's like quite interesting. Yes, but of course. So guys, keep in mind that we are, you know, actively looking at Reddit. We are actively looking at Twitter and just trying to, you know, I guess see what is out there that we know that we can answer. And just so you guys know, a lot of the things here that we answer, it comes from us. It's not, you know, like market speak or anything like that. We are, you know, watching the game. These are things that we are noticing as we observe. So, and we've been watching a lot of Battlefield 4 today. Hopefully you guys have been as well, because, you know, I've heard that we've had quite a few viewers throughout the course of these last 2 days, which makes it, you know, quite amazing, in my personal opinion, to see so many people coming out and supporting Battlefield 4 and EA.
Yeah, so one of the difficulties. This is very difficult. Whenever you have the 20x zoom, it is so hard to hit shots that are at such close range.
Yeah, hopefully he can nail this headshot here. He just needs to line it up.
If you look also, he has the ability to kind of focus his rangefinder.
Yeah, that is true. He can focus the rangefinder if he you know, looks, but he's getting shot from the right side. So we just saw there, took two to the body there, but oh my God, look at this here. Alpha 23 is going to take some shots there on the side. Oh man, this is insane. He's going to move right inside of this building here, knowing that there are going to be a bunch of players on the outside. This is certainly not very good here for the Bravo squad. They're losing a lot of tickets. But you know what, though? Let me retract that statement. The U.S. squad losing a lot of tickets, as it is right now 223 to 219.
1 second about to be tied.
This is crazy.
Actually, it's going to start to separate now, because the Chinese right now, so 216, 214. They're fighting back and forth, kind of exchanging flags at this point. Right now, though, Alpha 23, he's going to get spotted from the high ground, similar to what I mentioned before. It's always, in any game you've ever played, it's always better to be on the high ground.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, in looking at all this stuff, Corey, it makes me really excited for when a lot of the top Battlefield players actually get their hands on this game. Oh man, they're gonna have a field day. It's not amphibious.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
But he is.
But he is
amphibious. But yeah, I'm really stoked about all that, Corey. Like when these top players finally get their hands on it, all the cool strategies that we're gonna see, the use of the commander mode. I mean, wow, it is certainly gonna be very cool. You can see that AC-130 again, not nearly as effective because of the fact that that dust is pretty much clouding the view. And it's going to require a lot of accuracy and patience to be able to take out the targets that he was going for.
I honestly think that the commander weapons are pretty balanced. We saw one great commander today.
That's true. That
picked up 24 kills at one point. But really, I think they're pretty effective, or pretty balanced for the most part, because whenever you look at, let's break them down one for one. The Tomahawk it takes forever to get to a point, but then once it gets there, it causes a lot of damage.
That's right.
And players are spotting it and knowing that a Tomahawk is out. Also, something to note, whenever the gunship is out, and a commander has made the call, and a gunship is out, it is then stated on the screen. So it says that the gunship is above. So players know to be on the lookout for that.
That's right. And then the UAV, of course, you know, is a very, very effective tool, but you still got to get the kills at the end of the day. So you can have a UAV circling around something, but if the other team is anticipating your aggression, then you know what? It's probably not even going to matter there. So as you can see, this is how we look when we cast. We're usually like this. We're just like really, really focused. But yeah. So hopefully we answered a few of you guys' questions in regards to some of the things out there. Of course, you know, I'm going to continue to look at my phone and see what is going on in the world of Reddit. Our Battlefield, as well as Battlefield_4. Those are the two that I've been checking out a lot, and Facebook and Twitter too.
Yeah, so but make sure you definitely check out Reddit/r/Battlefield. Post any type of feedback that you have, not only for the stream, but also about what you think for Battlefield 4. Also, go to twitter.com and follow Battlefield, but the main hashtag to utilize is hashtag BF4. And lastly, and also make sure you go to facebook.com/Battlefield. There's all these different elements. Stay connected, and it is beneficial in this case whenever you stay connected socially, because there's so much content that gets sent your way.
That's right.
So you can be so well informed about each of the new elements, each of the new features that's involved with Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I mean, once again, you know, me and Corey are on social media all the time, so I'm GoldenBoyFTW, consider it _done on Twitter, and we are always trying to, you know, talk to the community and get your ideas as well. I posted a thread on Reddit, just, I guess, trying to get feedback. How can we improve? How can everything improve here for the broadcast? And the community has been so responsive and positive as well, so just a big shout out to you guys, for real.
All right, so again, this has just been day 1 and day 2. We do have an interview coming up next that's going to be great to listen to also, but be on the lookout for day 3, and we will sit there and go over Battlefield 4 with a fine comb and try to figure out everything that needs to be figured out. I mean, we learned so much today. Day 1, we picked up a lot of different types of information. Yeah. Day 2, we picked up a great deal as well, and we'll see if we can do the same for day 3. So make sure you post out on all of those social medias, and we'll definitely be on the lookout for that for day 3. And so we'll see all that gameplay tomorrow, but we do have an interview coming up next. And so I think at this point, you and I are done at this point.
Oh, are we now? We're done? No. So basically what we're going to do is we're not done yet, just yet. What we are going to do is at least some more gameplay.
We might.
We might. There's a potential there. But you know what? Just enjoy the interview. And regardless of the fact, you're going to see our pretty faces afterwards anyway, baby. So don't even worry. Don't you touch that mouse. We are going to be right back with some more awesome action. Right, Corey?
Sounds good. We'll be back after the break.
And we are back on the Battlefield live stream. I am joined with Frank Gibeau, a very special guest. And we kind of want to talk about what it is you do at Electronic Arts and your day-to-day involvement with Battlefield 4.
I basically manage the studios at EA, so all the games that get built at the company, whether it's a mobile game like Plants vs. Zombies 2 or Battlefield 4 or the Sims 4, they all work inside the group that I manage.
Now, Frank, I think one of the main reasons that you're one of my favorite people at the company is because you are as big of a gamer as I am, and it's part of your day-to-day life. So tell me a little about it. Like, what are you playing now? And
you know, at home right now I'm playing StarCraft 2, the new Brood Wars expansion.
Yep.
I've been messing around with League of Legends, although I got to tell you, getting screamed at for picking the wrong lane is a little hard to get into, but I've been messing with that. You know, I still play Battlefield 3, so you know, I get through the premium expansion pack stuff. I play a lot of the products that we have under development, so you know, I'll grab time on a tablet and play the latest build of PvZ2, or you know, we have some new stuff coming too. And I just been working my way through BioShock Infinite.
Cool.
But I like playing games. My favorite thing to do, so whenever I get free time, I jump into a game.
And I saw you were playing Battlefield 4 earlier, actually.
I was.
How you liking it so far?
I love it. It's just awesome. I mean, when you can drop a skyscraper right into the middle of a level, right on top of another
It is
group.
one of the best feelings in the game for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously I know what's going on in the game for the rest of the content. It's just huge. There's never been a shooter this good.
So now I know that you have a unique handle that you play Battlefield by.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my handle in Battlefield is Daisy Cutter. In fact, it's usually my name in all the games I play. And you know, it's I had this really fun night when I was in DICE recently, where a bunch of us were playing, and we had our DICE developer tags, and a bunch of guys saw us, and so they tried to get the knife kills on us, and so it was this really cool. Everybody on the level except our 4-man squad, it was team deathmatch, was fighting everybody off with guns while they were just trying to knife us.
They were just trying to knife you?
Trying to get our dog tags, and it was great. Somehow they track our names and where we are, and then they drop into our server, so we had a blast. It was really fun.
The DICE hunters will definitely find you. They need those hags, man.
Yeah, they're rough.
So I noticed you were playing Engineer on Battlefield 4.
That's my favorite class.
Do you like the changes that they've made? Have you noticed any of the nuances at all?
Yeah, I do. I think that you know, every version of Battlefield's got to bring something new, and you know, you learn what people are liking and what things they don't like by where they churn out on a particular item or thing. But I really like how they've changed a lot of how the unlocks work, and then the mixing and the matching of the capabilities. I'm also a big vehicle guy. I love playing tanks.
Yeah.
I play that World of Tanks game quite a bit.
Speaking of tanks, Alpha 30 rocking a tank right here.
Yeah, there you go.
I could always drive the tanks, but I could never actually do any of the air vehicles.
Right.
I just flip a helicopter over right away.
I play on the PC, so I use the joystick. I cheat a little there, but yeah, I like flying a lot. So, what was different is in Bad Company 2, I played the Recon class a lot, and I just didn't end up being the sniper in BF3. So what I'm excited about is BF4. The snipers feel different, and
they feel
kind
amazing.
of get back into that class a little bit.
I still think the bullet sync is one of the most satisfying feelings as a gamer. Yeah. Just like sending that bullet across the map and having it sync down perfectly is fantastic.
Yeah, managing drop is great. It's cool to see the gunship too, and Commander mode is back. I haven't actually called in a missile strike on my tablet yet, but I've seen it in enough demos to see it's pretty good.
It was actually demoed during the press conference.
Oh yeah,
that was one of my favorite things.
I was one of the guys back there playing.
Oh, you got to be one of the players?
I snuck in, yeah.
What was that like?
That was fun, you know. Initially, they told me, you know, make sure you don't shoot the helicopter because you'll screw up the demo. But, you know, all heck broke loose, and we had a good time.
I think that was one of the really received things was the curtain coming up and 64 players standing right there behind the stage playing it live.
We had a really good press conference. You know, you work on these games for so long, and we couldn't talk about Gen 4 forever.
Right.
And finally to be able to come out on stage and say, here's Battlefront, you know, here's Battlefield 4, here's Titanfall, and see the reaction. It was just awesome. I mean, that's ultimately why we're here, is we make games trying to make people happy and entertain them, and when they are, it's awesome.
Yeah. And then speaking a little bit towards Frostbite, we've noticed that Frostbite's being used in more and more games.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about EA's decision to invest heavily in the Frostbite engine?
Sure. You know, when I started working in the studio a few years ago, and I looked at the environment of how we're building games, we had over 22 development engines, distinctly different ones, and some of them weren't that good. And the guys in Sweden have built this unbelievable suite of technology in Frostbite 1 and 2. And so we just exposed all these game teams to the power of Frostbite, and they got to opt into it because, you know, ultimately these guys want to use the best tech, the best tools to create the best experiences. And so over time, we basically moved BioWare and Visceral and a bunch of the studios onto Frostbite. And we made a lot of modifications to it. We brought in the animation system from sports, so the figures look a lot more realistic and move, and we can use the motion capture libraries from sports. So, I mean, that's one of the cool things about EA is if you get the whole power of it behind an idea, you can create just world-breaking or, you know, world-class stuff. And so that's what we've been doing, is moving people to Frostbite and to EA Sports Ignite. On the sports side, we did the same thing. And it just allows game teams to move guys around. If they roll off of Battlefield 4 and they want to work on a sports game or they want to work on an RPG, they know all the tools already, they know the environment. And, you know, I think when you look at the visuals and you see the game quality, I think we're making the right calls here. We're going to keep it proprietary. We're not going to license it out or anything, you know. This is something we're going to keep for ourselves.
So I think there were a lot of really great announcements that we made during the press conference. Obviously, Star Wars is amazing, and everybody's looking forward to it. Mirror's Edge 2 looks fantastic. I think one of the things that really excited people was Titanfall.
Absolutely.
The idea of a new IP, bringing out the new products. Is this something that, as EA, we want to keep heavily investing in?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's always tough to launch new IP at the end of a generation. So what you want to try and do is save those IPs for the front end of a new generation where you can really break through on a bunch of creative fronts.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we did there. And with Titanfall, Star Wars, as well as Mirror's Edge, and the Plants vs. Zombies game is it's a different take on things. So those together create a really cool, fresh part of our portfolio that helps out with the other stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So E3 2013, huge convention. You've seen a lot of awesome things here. What has been your favorite E3 2013 memory so far?
Probably the reception to Mirror's Edge.
Yeah?
Yeah, that and the reception to Battlefront. We showed 28 seconds of footage and we went to #1 on Twitter. People were standing up and clapping for it. So it was just, like I said earlier in the interview, there's this moment where you actually finally get to show what you're working on.
Yeah.
And when the reception's that good, it was just awesome. So I'd say those two are probably my favorites so far. But it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, actually. We're halfway through. The live stream has been doing amazing. I think a lot of the reception of the community and everything has been really great. And I really do. I think that this is a really important year for Battlefield.
I agree, and we're collecting a lot of awards back there, so it looks
yeah,
pretty
there
good.
are a lot of awards showing up.
And I hope the Battlefield community comes and tries to hunt for my dog tags because I'm ready for them.
Yeah, and you actually, can you say your gamer tag again so they can add
Daisy Cutter, DAISYCUTTER.
All right, guys. So look out for Frank. Try to get those DICE dog tags. And thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
enjoyed having you on.
Thanks very much.
Cool.
Have a good
Enjoy the
show.
show. And we'll be back with more Battlefield gameplay after this.
Hello and welcome back to Battlefield 4's live stream right here from the E3 2013. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Alex Mendez. You've seen us for the past 2 days. We've been covering Battlefield 4 multiplayer. It's been great. It's been fun.
It has been amazing. We just had Frank up here, one of the executives of EA, talking with Daniel. Who Daniel, you got to give Husky Hog a shout out. Dude is amazing. He's been super helpful to us all week long. So big shout outs to all the guys at EA for making this awesome event happen. It really
incredible.
has been a great time. You see the players out there enjoying it. It really is, I guess, something amazing to see when there are 64 people out on the floor, right where I am sitting behind me, just playing Battlefield and enjoying the crap out of it. That is really what it's all about, and that's why this booth has seen so much traffic throughout the entire event, because there has just, it's like as soon as you walk into the South Hall, you see us right here. It is in massive, giant, I should say, print, a giant signage. This is Battlefield 4. You can actually see the players on the red side there. But Corey, what a time it's been so far.
It's been a lot of fun throughout this entire week. We've learned a lot. That's been the whole focus, is to make sure that we talk about every different aspect that we can think of, and it's been fun.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can see right there the overhead, the EA booth, just massive in all of its glory, showing off some of the amazing games that EA has been putting out here. Games like Titanfall, Need for Speed, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, just such amazing titles this year from EA. But then to top it all off, the cherry on top of the ever so delicious cake, Battlefield 4.
Oh, it's so delicious.
It's an amazing cake. It's an amazing cake of war and carnage and awesomeness.
Yeah,
right?
Running off of the Frostbite 3 engine.
That's right.
As well for EA Sports, the EA Sports Ignite engine.
Yeah, and one of the cool things was when I was speaking with Daniel, I believe, Matros, right? I was speaking with I was speaking with him, and he had told me that the Frostbite engine allows them to be very flexible with what they do. That's why the things that they're putting out there, things like the spectator mode and commander mode, things of that nature, that's why they've been able to do it, because of that Frostbite 3 engine. So it certainly has been a very, very awesome experience for me to see the Frostbite 3 engine in action. Battlefield 4 really is a game that is embracing next-gen technology 110%. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's all out there for you guys, and you guys are soaking up all the information on social media. And man, what a week it's been. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, so again, we've said it numerous times before. Make sure you post out there on Reddit as well on Twitter. So utilize the hashtag BF4 as well as Facebook.com/Battlefield and stay connected for all of your information throughout all of E3 as well as all of the new features that will be coming out for Battlefield 4. There's going to be one more gameplay for today, and so we're going to be looking forward to it. Of course, if you haven't done it yet, head over to Amazon.com and pre-order your copy of Battlefield 4 right now, and you also have your chance to be able to get a battle pack as well.
That's right. You'll have a battle pack that will come with that, bunch as well. Overall, I'm really excited about this, Corey. Now, one thing that I am, I guess excited about is seeing one last game for today. You can see players right now lining up behind us, getting ready to go. This most certainly is going to be epic.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick break, and as soon as they're ready, we'll hop directly into game. And then just take this moment, this last gameplay, to try to figure out every possible question you can think of and post it right there on Reddit, with the subreddit there being Battlefield, and we'll definitely check it out. So we'll be right back here, and we'll just
see you in a little bit.
Just hang on to your seats. We'll just continue to try to mix things up. We don't know exactly what we're coming to. We may have an interview coming up next. We may have gameplay. We're just not closing shop yet today. So stick around. We'll be right back here from E3 after the break. All right, so welcome back. Like I said, we're just trying to, we're going to have any possible thing can happen. And, we actually decided to pull out an old friend out of the group that was in the last bit of gameplay and really going to get your insight of what you were dealing with. Of course, for those of you that don't know, I already immediately went into it. This is Yaz, or better known as Clown, in the competitive first-person shooter community. Yep. Kind of tell me a little bit about how that gameplay was just a moment ago.
It's been probably the top game I've been waiting to play. I got a chance to play it myself. The game is just huge. The map is huge. You can do everything and anything in the game. I mean, you can break through a wall if you can't get through. You can go up an elevator. You can skydive from a building. You can shoot enemies across the map. There's times I'm running and I'm getting shot. I have no clue where I'm getting shot from. And I look over and I see like a little peck just running across. And I'm like, dude, this guy's the best ever.
It's a comparison to some other various games out there. I mean, but it's in a world all on its own, right?
Yeah, I would say this is just they've gone beyond Battlefield 3. I mean, they just keep excelling. They haven't stopped, and it's just I can't wait to buy it. I really can't.
Yeah, so for those of you that are wanting the chance to be able to buy it, you can head over to Amazon.com and pre-order your copy right now. So that's what you need to be doing.
Oh, I'm going to do it.
As soon as you get back.
The release date is what, October 29th?
Correct.
Yeah.
Then you're on top of your game, man.
I already know, man. It's just embedded.
No, so what are some of the other things? How did the guns feel? I mean, I know you're high level into competition, and I know there's also variances from whenever for the games that we play on a consistent basis.
It's a little bit different than Counter-Strike. It's a little bit different than Counter-Strike and stuff like that. But what I like about it is it's a lot more realistic. You can't just run around shooting like aimlessly. You got to take your time, aim, and the farther they are, you got to really. That's when the preciseness really comes into play.
Yeah, you
got to take your time. You got to kind of like, in real life, I was sitting there, I was like. Just like in other games, you got to just hold your breath. And I just held it, relaxed, took my time, aimed, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's not like other games where you just shoot a guy in the foot once and he just drops and dies. You have to actually shoot him. You have to take your time, take care of him, make sure he's dead. Poke him a couple times, and then move on to the next guy.
Wouldn't it be insane to see some type of 12v12 format competition, high level, seeing some tanks, helicopters, it's crazy.
I can't even imagine. And the fact that they have this commander now. That is just, when I saw that walking by, I kind of assumed what it was. I went backstage, saw the little trailer, saw the breakdown, and that's crazy. You can be, at a bus stop with a tablet, and you're like, all right, guys, listen, I got your cover. You guys move in through the left, squad B, move in through the right, and you can just command your whole team as you go along. It's I wish I had that in other games. It's really good. I think that's going to be a strong point in that.
Yes, I appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you, man.
I'll see you time and time
always
again.
A pleasure.
But of course, we got more gameplay coming up. Appreciate you hopping on here with me, Clown.
I'm going to get back
We'll be right back here in just a moment. Of course, make sure you pre-order your Battlefield 4 copy on Amazon.com. More Battlefield 4 coming up next.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Battlefield 4 E3 2013 show. Golden Boy of TW alongside Mr. Corey Dunn, or I'm Alex Mendez. People have been calling me Alex on Reddit, which is actually kind of weird.
It's nice, man.
It is pretty nice. I mean, everyone's like, hey, Alex. I'm like, hey, guys, how's it going?
Your mama calls you.
My mama does call me. Actually, no, my family calls me Andrew, believe it or not.
This is now a new storyline to me, guys. Breaking news. Breaking news.
My
From now
father
on
and my
Reddit,
brother
call
are all
him
Alex.
Andrew.
My father, my brother, and my grandfather are all named Alex.
Really?
Yeah, everyone finds that weird, and I guess it is. Enough about my lineage.
All right, so we learned a lot in day 2.
Yes, we did. Oh, man.
Again, I'm going to restate this one last time. For those of you that are posting out there on Reddit, take advantage of this time frame from this last bit of gameplay till the gameplay in day 3 to write down all the different types of things you want us to find out. We'll try to answer any type of question you can think of, because I'm running dry on all the different things that I'm trying to visually comprehend at this point.
Yeah, that's right. And guys, by the way, this game is about 5 minutes left in this one. So, we're just going to go ahead and catch all the action here as it is heating up. But, I'm going to go ahead and get on Reddit and see what is being discussed over there. Maybe you and I can dibble dabble a little bit in the topics at hand. Yeah, it seems like people are pretty stoked about the Scout Elite Iron Sight gameplay. That actually was just put up on YouTube.
Scout's my favorite weapon in any game.
Yeah, it actually is.
Best Scout NA.
Really cool. I did see someone putting any information about the spawn system. So obviously we've been spectating, we've been watching how it works out. Pretty much, you can spawn on your squad, and you can also spawn on the point as well, right?
Squad
Is there any other ways?
Not necessarily just your squad leader. You can spawn off of any squad member. You can spawn off of any point that you currently have in possession. So for right now, for instance, if we were a U.S. player, we would be able to spawn off of A, B, and C, and now currently D, since that's been acquired. And also, if there's no points available, even whenever their points are taken as well, you can spawn in your own base as well.
Yeah, and I actually happen to be a fan of the spawning on multiple members of your squad. Squad leader, their purpose is kind of just like help drive and also assist the commander in action, right? Especially when you have a real coordinated squad. But spawning on anyone within your squad, I think keeps things going a little bit, and also helps your teammates think about their positioning as well. Are you in an advantageous position that could help out your teammate and every other teammate that just got taken out? Think about those kinds of things. And yeah.
And also, I noticed that I did not mention one of the other spawn points. You can spawn in vehicles as well, being the helicopters. So that element as well. So for those of you that were wondering if you can spawn directly into the vehicle still, that's still the case as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it seems like that is pretty much going to be the game here. I was looking at Reddit there to see what you guys are talking about. And again, I'm going to be looking at this stuff all night long. So get on there on Reddit.
True.
It is I'm on it. We're on it.
He's got his tablet out that he could be a commander on.
I could very well do
and
so.
then on his phone as well, he's just sitting there trying to check every bit of social media as possible. I scroll through as well. So
you crack me up. Well, guys, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the presentation. I know that I had a blast doing it, and I know, Corey, you had a blast as well. And, of course, all the people who joined us here for our interviews, it was a great time. And, guys, again, get on social media. Talk about Battlefield 4. Hashtag BF4 on Twitter. Get on Facebook. It is facebook.com/Battlefield. And you can also go on Reddit, reddit.com/r/Battlefield. Battlefield, right? I got that
Nice,
right?
good job.
I'm pretty good. All right, and of course, do not forget if you want to, get your hands on Battlefield 4. You can't do it just
October
yet.
29th, first thing.
Can't do it just yet, but you could pre-order on Amazon.com.
That's right.
Right. So that's pretty much going to do it, guys. Don't forget about all that stuff, and thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure, and we will see you tomorrow for some more Battlefield action. For myself and Corey Dunn and all the team, the rest of the team here at EA and DICE, we will see you tomorrow.